Bhakti Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Skan Vividi founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Gaur Premanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga. All glories. Maharaj, Dhanavad Pranam. Would you like to come and give talk? I feel embarrassed in front of a sannyasi.
We are all Dasa.
Where are you coming from, Maharaj?
From Vrindavan.
Okay. I would like to offer if you would like to speak. I don't mind. Bhagavat, you can.
Maharaj is disciple of Swarupa Maharaj, based in Vrindavan, and he travels around every.
Yes, Maharaj, please come.
Around the motels, and he gives them a Bhagavad Gita. This to very kind. Thank you.
Yeah, please. Go and. I don't know.
Wow, this is Jai. So, studying Srimad Bhagavatam. We are in fourth canto. And
Canto 4.
Chapter 29. Wow.
Text 39.
Very, very powerful chapter. The talks between Narada Muni and King Prachin Barhi. And today's text number is Yatra. Okay. 39 and 40 together, correct? So we will decide together. Yatra Bhagavata Rajan Sadhavo Vishedashaya Bhagavad Gunanu Kathana Shravanabhyagra Chetasa. So anybody would like to decide?
Would you like to read another remaining part of the sloka?
Oh, it's full over. Okay. tasmin mahan mukharita. Actually, the meter is different here. Tasmin mahan mukharita madhubhis charitra. Iyusha shesha sarita parita shravanti. Taye pibantya vitrisho nipagad karnai. Tanna sprishan shanati bhaya shoka moha. Please.
Yatra Bhagavata Rajan Sarva Vishadashaya Bhagavad Guna Nukatana Shravana Vyagrachetasa Tasmin Mahan Mukharita Muchudicharita Piyusha Shesha Sharita Parita Sravanti Kaye Bevantya Vishit Teye Bevantya Vichisho Nipagara Karnais Tannas Prishantya Shanatrit Vaya Shoka Moha.
I think shlok is big, so we can read the translation purport. If somebody is extremely eager, at least one person, otherwise we can continue. Very amazing. So, yatra, where? Bhagavataha, great devotees. Rajan, O king. Sadhava, saintly persons. Vishad ashrayaha, broad-minded. Vishada ashayaha. Ashaya means in the heart, yeah, so the shelter. Vishada ashayaha. Bhagavata, Bhagavat, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Guna, the qualities. Anukathana, to regularly recite. Shravana, to hear. Vyagra, eager. Chetasa, whose consciousness. Tasmin, there. Mahat, of great saintly persons. Mukharitaha, emanating from the mouths. Madhubhit, of the killer of the Madhu demon. Charitra, the activities or the character. Piyusha, of nectar. Shesha, surplus. Sarita, rivers. Parita, all around. Shravanti, flow. Ta, all of them. Ye, they who. Pibanti, drink. Avitrisha, without being satisfied. Nipa, O king. Gadha, attentive. Karnai, with their ears. Tan, them. Na, never. Trishanti, touch. Ashana, hunger. Trit, thirst. Bhaya, fear. Shoka, lamentation. Moha, illusion. Translation, responsible please. My dear king, in the place where pure devotees live, following the rules and regulations, and thus purely conscious, and engaged with great eagerness in hearing and chanting the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In that place, if one gets a chance to hear their constant flow of nectar, which is exactly like the waves of a river, one will forget the necessities of life, namely hunger and thirst, and become immune to all kinds of fear, lamentation and illusion. Translation purport by His Divine Guest, Abhay Charanarvind Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The cultivation of Krishna consciousness is possible where great devotees live together and constantly engage in hearing and chanting the glories of the Lord. In a holy place like Vrindavan, there are many devotees constantly engaged in chanting and hearing the glories of the Lord. If one gets the chance to hear from pure devotees in such a place, allowing the constant flow of the river of nectar to come from the mouths of pure devotees, then the cultivation of Krishna consciousness becomes very easy. When one is engaged in constantly hearing the glories of the Lord, he certainly rises above the bodily conception. When one is engaged in constantly hearing the glories of the Lord, he certainly rises above the bodily conception. When one is in the bodily conception, he feels the pangs of hunger and thirst, fear, lamentation, and illusion. But when one is engaged in hearing and chanting the glories of the Lord, it transcends the bodily conception. The word Bhagavad Gunanu Kathana Shravana Vyagra Chetasah, meaning always eager to find a place where the glories of the Lord are being heard and chanted. It's significant in this verse. A businessman is always very eager to go to a place where business is transacted. Similarly, a devotee is very eager to hear from the lips of liberated devotees. As soon as one hears the glories of the Lord from the liberated devotees, he immediately becomes impregnated with Krishna consciousness. This is also confirmed in another verse. Satam prasangan mama virya samvido bhavanti hitkarna rasayana katha tajoshanadashu apavargavartmani shraddha ratir bhaktir anupramishati. In the association of pure devotees, discussion of the pastimes and activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is very pleasing and satisfying to the ear and to the heart. By cultivating such knowledge, one gradually becomes advanced on the path of liberation, and thereafter he is freed and his attraction becomes fixed. Then real devotion and devotional service begins. In the association of pure devotees, one becomes attached to hearing and chanting the glories of the Lord. In this way, one can cultivate Krishna consciousness. And as soon as this cultivation is advanced, one can become faithful to the Lord, devoted to the Lord, and attached to the Lord. And thus one can very quickly attain full Krishna consciousness. The secret of success in the cultivation of Krishna consciousness is hearing from the right person. A Krishna conscious person is never disturbed by the bodily necessities, namely eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Actually, Srila Prabhupada is in elaboration. He has given so much ocean for us to become engaged, even in reading, correct? As we study Srila Prabhupada's purports and books. And Srila Prabhupada concludes the purport: the secret of success in the cultivation of Krishna consciousness is hearing from the right person. The essence of this statement, if the secret of this statement is understood or appreciated, then our Krishna consciousness will become so focused, completely free from any deviation or distraction. We'll discuss. A Krishna conscious person is never disturbed by the bodily necessities, namely eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Svarupa Damodar Swami Niti Namini Namah Sadbhakta Manaye Manipurudbhavaya Chay Srila Prabhupada Lasadvani Prachara Niratayate Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Shri Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Nam Sankirtanam Yasya Sarva Papa Pranashanam Pranamo Dukkha Shamanas Tam Namami Harim Param. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Vaishnavebhyo namo namah. In Mahabharata, section of Hitopadesh. So one Upadesh, one Hita means for our ultimate good. It says, Amantram aksharam nasti, nasti moolam anaushadham. Ayogya purusho nasti, yojakas tatra durlabham. Yojakas durlabham. If you want to put succinctly the essence of this shloka mantra, which is very much the subject matter of Bhagavad Dharma, the satsang is always going to be the difference maker in our life. The satsang is always going to be the difference maker between whether we make a full success or we remain deprived from it. Whether we attain the perfection of our human potential in this very lifetime, or we fall short and then again another struggle going through everything. Our present life, the opportunity given to us in this present life is the best opportunity given to us in front of us, with us since eternity. Present opportunity. What really matters is the present moment, present opportunity. We cannot guarantee that, oh, this lifetime my situation is very not so conducive or anything. Maybe in future life I will take. Can we afford to take the risk? We are in the human form of life, and human life is endowed with all the necessities to cause the perfection of our human potential. So, in order to draw that point across our understanding and deep appreciation, says the amantram aksharam nasti. There is no letter, there is no word which cannot be used as a mantra. There is no word that cannot be used as a mantra. Amantram aksharam nasti. Now we can see the sound vibration, correct? Oh, what is in it? Only the letters A, U, A, M, or just word made of the three letters. Three. So it has this uttering this letter or word like this. It connects us to the source of everything. Aham sarvasya prabhavo. Krishna is represented by the sound Om. Pranava sarva vedeshu. Krishna says in all the Vedas, I am the Omkar. So Omkar is a representation of Krishna. The source of Omkar is Krishna. It is not other way around. Krishna comes from Om. No. Omkar comes from Krishna. Krishna is the samam bonam, is the source of everything. So the sound has that potency. The word letter has that potential. When we recite Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The Prem Dhvani, it connects us to the source, or the source of all love, or the very embodiment of love, Krishna. So this is the potency, this is the potential of uttering the letter or the words. Now, if the letter or word is not used as a mantra, the literal meaning of mantra means which frees us from any impasses, physical impasse, mental impasse, intellectual impasse, egotistic impasse, and so much infatuation impasse. Chitta. Infatuation is connected to chitta, the subconscious mind. You cannot let go of something, constantly haunted by some thought or some attraction, something like that. So the impasse is a different level, gross to subtle. Mantra, if the letter can be used as a mantra, it has the potency to free us from any impasses. If we are stuck in any impasses, then we cannot progress, correct? If you are stuck somewhere, some problem is there and you cannot cross. So mantra has the potency to free us from any impasse or stuck or getting up. But if the letter is not used as a mantra, how the letter is used? If the letter is not, words are not used as mantra, they become commotion. they become disturbers, they become the cause of fight and dissension and how dare you! Correct? We don't use these words because they are not, the words are not used as mantra. Rather, we always smartavya satatam Vishnu vismartavyo yati, in order to remember Krishna all the times, and in order not to forget Krishna, we emphasize so much hearing and chanting. This is the Shravana Dasha. The today's purport, the 5 dashas which are mentioned in our literature by the Goswamis, Shravana Dasha, that our condition, to free us from the impasse of so many conditioning. You know? We are conditioned by so many purva sanskaras, so many associations, asat, unwanted association, and we have thrived through so many unwanted association, which has become our conditioning, and it's very, very difficult. So unless we associate with those devotees who have been deconditioned, or those who have been conditioned in a devotional engagement, then in their association we will be naturally, we won't have the time and space to remain conditioned in the wrong way. The association of pure devotees means, by very definition, devotee means one who is conditioned to remain engaged in devotional service 24/7. These are not just words or information. This is the standard of somebody being called devotee. So Prabhupada says that one has to remain engaged in devotional service 24/7. Why he didn't say that 23 hours and 59 seconds? Because this asat sang chhadi ai vaishnavachar. So we may be very highly, almost fully engaged in devotional service, but almost means not complete. Almost says that avenue, correct? I was almost there, but I missed. So was I there or I missed? I missed. So this almost is a very risky business. We have to be fully. So that is the standard set by our, and it is very good. So when we are in the association of pure devotees who are by definition engaged in pure devotional service through their mind, through their words, through their actions, and so in the association we don't have the ability to sneak out into some asat sangha, or which is non-devotional, correct? Now, how is it possible? We will discuss the essence of the conclusion of this shloka, because subject matter is so vast. I'm trying to just educate myself and reinstate my understanding and appreciation, which my spiritual master, His Divine Grace Bhakti Svarupa Damodar Swami Maharaj imparted, and his unique loving bond with His Divine Grace, correct? So it's very exemplary, and we had a great fortune, at least not for a long time, but for whatever little time we were with His Divine Grace. We observed the perfection of Bhagavad Dharma in the association of our spiritual master with his spiritual master, His Divine Grace. And the thoughts and the actions reflected that strong bond. Although Guru Maharaj was engaged in scientific preaching and very stalwart and all these things, but his loving bond or loving bond association with the spiritual master made him immune from the influence of this worldly affairs, even in any circle. How otherwise, without that strong bond of a deep attachment, how is it possible to remain undeterred and all these things which we see in a pure devotee? Now, to conclude, the word has the potential to be a mantra. If it is not used as a mantra, it can create problem, correct? If it is used as mantra, then it is the best association, best atmosphere, and otherwise is the Nasti Moolam Anaushadham. There is no herb or root which cannot be used as a medicine. The herb or the root has the capacity, potential to be used as a medicine. In our household, we may have many herbs and roots, and still we fall sick. Why? Because unless somebody tells us, you use this herb or root in this way, make some kadha or make some mix and just drink and you will be cured. So, in spite of having the roots and the herbs, if you don't utilize them, they have no, so they remain unutilized. So we cannot use. But the real thing is the third line, ayogya purusho nasti. This is the human potential. There is no human being who is unqualified. Do we know anybody, any human being who is unqualified? Please raise the hand. Any human being unqualified? Of course, in modern education, we determine you are qualified, you are not qualified, you pass the test, you didn't pass the test, all these things, correct? But here, the message of the scriptures is that unqualified in the sense to cause the perfection of one's human potential. Because only human being is endowed with this special intelligence whereby he can become very conscious of his highest self-interest. We are in a progressive track. Our progressiveness, human being is symptomized by Rajogun. Rajogun means Rajo Vaikalpikam Chayat. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Lord Krishna describes the nature of the people situated in three modes in various aspects. Kaivalyam Satvikam Jnanam Rajo Vaikalpikam Chayat. Prakritam Tamasam Jnanam Mannishtham Nirgunam Smritam. So this, the thing which causes one to become fixed in Krishna's beauty or Krishna's prowess, Krishna's variegated aspects of his attractiveness, correct? That will put us in a transcendental situation. But by nature, human being is symptomized by Rajogun. In Rajogun, one is always looking for vikalp. What is better? This food, how can I get better food? Better food. This house, small house, big house. This much knowledge, this much, correct? Always looking for progressive betterness. This much money, now I'm vikalp. Oh, this much money is not enough. I should have that much money. Always looking. He never settles. And that symptom of a human being can do wonder if on our progressive trajectory, our ultimate good is also targeted. Right? Why should we settle for anything less than the best? And in that process, through satsang, which is always going to be a difference maker, if one comes across the real message of Srimad Bhagavatam, they say, oh, before I was thinking I am just a millionaire, I will become a billionaire. But oh, there is something beyond. The ultimate perfection of our human potential is to become a pure devotee, to become an associate of Krishna. Until we attain that status, all our achievements will become null and void, eventually in this very lifetime. So what we are up to, compared to what we should be up to, we may be up to, even apparently on devotional engagement, we may be up to some, very temporary or not very magnanimous, not very magnanimous mind, set or heart, He describes a person who is awakened to his highest self-interest or param kalyan, he will not become stuck in the trivial subject matters of whether I got this position or power or this thing or that thing, attention, because his total attention is in his eternal identity, in his Svarupa, that is eternal servant of Krishna. So, ayogya purusho nasti. If no human being is unqualified, no human being is unqualified to attain the perfection of human potential. No human being is or barred. Oh, this human being, you cannot become a pure devotee. Oh, this color or this creed or this height or this gender, anything. No human being is barred from becoming a pure devotee. What has deprived us since eternity? Since eternity we have got innumerable opportunity as a human being, and still something has missed out, correct? What is that? So this Bhagavatam is pinpointing what will cause that this lifetime. Now, this is a question I ask many times myself. I will ask everybody. What are the odds that something which we could not accomplish since eternity, in spite of having been given innumerable opportunities, that in this lifetime, we will be able to accomplish. We can accomplish something which we could not. What are the odds? Odds are almost
More than very.
zero. You can sum, but at the same time, if we connect to the right source, if we become connected to the right source in this very lifetime, we can attain the perfection of our human potential. So the Sukta says, Ayogya Purusho Nasti. Although nobody is disqualified or barred or blocked to enter the highest status, what is depriving? Then it says, Yojikas Tatra Durlabham. To become connected to one who has attained the perfection of his human potential. To become connected to one. Now, what is that connection? Connection means when you become connected to someone in real sense, you become his or hers. That kind of bond. So, in that, your ideal is in front of you. You know, our ultimate, the association means what? Satsang means what? Association means ultimately becoming attached to the person we see as ideal. Because without becoming attached to a pure devotee, we may fall short. We will fall short. On our own, even if we apparently become engaged, just for covering the time, I will not fall into any unwanted association like that. But who will constantly inspire you? Only how one will be able to associate with a pure devotee all the time. Because personal vicinity or association is not possible all the times, correct? Even if the person is still somewhere, in his personal form, ultimately the attachment, deep-rooted attachment to a pure devotee, that will provide us, give us the possibility to remain in satsang all the time. Without attachment, so many things can cause our distraction, but when you have become attached to a pure devotee, then all the idealism, all the things which we marvel in appreciating his personality, they will become the protective armor around us, around our consciousness, because in our consciousness we will be incessantly thinking and concerned and about the satisfaction of that person. So to attain the status where we are able to remember and glorify Krishna all the times, Krishna we have yet to meet. But Krishna's manifestation in the life of a devotee is through the devotees. In the life of a person, Krishna comes in our life in the form of his pure devotees. Krishna Kripa Shri Murti, one who is the embodiment of Krishna's mercy. So the mercy manifestation of Krishna is like Krishna's sample, is not different from Krishna in that way. Sakshat Hari, when we say, how to experience if something is like a ocean, how to test the ocean, because if we go near the ocean, sometimes the risk is that we may just drown. The analogy, what I'm trying to say, but to test the ocean, even if you want to taste the whole ocean, we have to get some cup and hold in our, if the nectar of rubbery and all these delicacies there. If you want to taste it, how you go, how you do? You drown in that ocean. If the unlimited quantity of amrit or rasa or rubbery is there, how you taste it? You wish you can just drink everything, but you will just get a cup. So the pure devotee, his association and his consciousness, his attachment and his love for Krishna, and Krishna's mercy flows through his agency. And that's why when we appreciate the status of a pure devotee, he appears to us as non-different from Krishna. Because we haven't experienced Krishna personally, but when Krishna's mercy embodiment person appears in our life, whatever we imagine, if we meet Krishna, how much we will worship him, how much we will love him, all this imagination which we carry. Now, without the love, even if we get Krishna, how many times we will be able to worship him? Like here in our ISKCON temple, we have Guru Puja for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, correct? Now, Guru Puja once is done, it is done, correct? In a formality, we have only 20 minutes engaged. That's a good engagement. But if one becomes so attached to the spiritual master or a pure devotee, then his association is all the time. In the association of a pure devotee, the essence here, one remains safe. One is able to remember Krishna all the time. So until a sadhaka comes to the platform of asakti to the spiritual master or the pure devotee, the devotee with whom you associate and you listen, then that will make it possible to become freed from all the unwanted associations. In Kapil Dev's, in Mother Devhuti's description, Kapil Dev says, Prasangam ajaram pasham atmanah kavayo viduhu sa eva sadhushu krito moksha dvaram apavitam. Amazing. That is slok number, this is third canto, chapter 25, pure devotional service, in slok number 20. Prasangam ajaram pasham. What it says, prasangam means deep attachment. Prasangam, prakrishta rupena sangam. Association with the thought, with the speech, and also in action. Ajaram pasham, our association or deep-rooted attachment to the material world is the cause of our incessant or since time immemorial attachment or bondage to this world. It is due to attachment only. Prasangam, ajaram means very strong. Pasham is like the rope, we are bound to this world and worldly associate relations because of deep-rooted attachment. Although they come and go, that's a good thing. So that however deeply infatuated or attached one may be in this material world, Krishna has created this material world in such a way that it will go also. It is agantuk, it has a beginning and an end. Now in the process, if we come across the association of Bhagavatam and Bhagavat Dharma, there is a possibility that we may develop attachment to a pure devotee. Then that attachment, it has a beginning, but it will never end because it is to the eternal person. Our appreciation, our appraisal of a pure devotee is that he is an associate of Krishna, just as Krishna is eternal person. An associate of Krishna is also an eternal being. So if you become attached to an eternal being, then your bond with the eternal being is also eternal. Now, though there is no And one cannot become simultaneously attached to more than one person at a time. So when attachment to a pure devotee is caused, then moksha dwaram apavaram. Saiva sadhushu krito. The same attachment which we have been experiencing in this material world in many relations, deep-rooted relations, wife, children, society, friendship, prestige, this and that, very deep-rooted. It is so obsessive attachment to anything in this material world causes our bondage to this world. Same obsessive attachment to a pure devotee, eva, similar sadhushu krito applied to the pure devotee, moksha dwaram apavritam. Without that singular attachment to some pure devotee, no matter how much we become engaged apparently in many aspects of devotional service, our heart may be hankering to become attached to someone. Correct? So unless you have covered that gap of the tendency to become attached to someone, it's still not a very safe position. So Bhagavatam says that when similar attachment, if it is applied to a pure devotee, then moksha dwaram apavritam, because attachment to a pure devotee will make us attached to his idealism, his directions and everything. And now you become 24/7 engaged in pure devotional service without any distraction, because your attachment to a pure devotee will provide enough flow of mercy to become more and more absorbed in pure devotional service. But without the attachment to a devotee, one may fall short, one may just find distracted in many ways. So that's why ultimately, to identify such a person, yojakas tatra durlabham, to become connected to such a person who is appraised by us, who is perceived as non-different from Krishna. In Bhagavatam, Krishna says, Mad Bhakta Pujyabhedika. When we become attached to someone, then that person or the object or the person of our attachment becomes more dear to us than even Krishna, because Krishna is still paroksha. Krishna we have yet to meet, but we have to qualify enough love. But before that, what it would be like to be with Krishna and how much I can worship Krishna, how much I can love Krishna, that one can apply to the person you become attached to the pure devotee. And that is the secret of success. So our appreciation of a pure devotee or the devotee or the spiritual master, which we take shelter, at least one person, if we can come to that appreciation, our attachment to the level of, or our faith in that person on the level of asakti. So this is Shraddha, final point, then I will question, I don't know how much time we allow. This, our faith or Shraddha is connected to our antakaran. The antakaran has 4 aspects: mind, intelligence, ego, and what is the 4th one? Chitta, the subconscious mind. Now this works very magically. So whatever association we are in, like with our parents in our childhood, and then people, society, school, whichever atmosphere we live, there are certain things which are given to us, taught to us. This is right, this is not right. This is good, this is not good, correct? So when parents tell us, teachers tell us, we don't waste so much our intelligence whether we should accept it or not, correct? So the association on the mind level, that faith is called Shraddha. Now when we grow up and when we think, oh, why this is good and why this is not good? Why should I accept this? Why should I not? When we use our intelligence, develop intelligence through education, they say, oh, this is the proof that this is good things. I should accept this, I should reject this. So that same Shraddha with the involvement of our intelligence is called nishtha. So in many things we have faith through intelligence that these are good things, and still, unless we have personal insistence, we will not adopt those things. Many things are good, correct? We agree with them, but still we don't follow them. We don't accept them. Many things are bad, and still many people may be stuck with those things. So unless there is a personal insistence that I want to do this, which is called ruchi. So when the ego is involved, I want to do this, so I don't want to do this. The difference, like we should attend Bhagavatam class, correct? So with intelligence also we accept this. But unless I am insistent on it, I may skip. Somebody say, oh, let's go to Bhagavatam class, let's go to for some satsang. Okay, let's go. Opportunity is there and there is no other engagement, suppose. Okay, every week we should go for the Sunday program. And oh, next week what happened? Oh, you didn't call me, or it was raining, different many. There could be 1,000 valid reasons not to do something. But there is only one reason needed to do something. What is your personal insistence? That is called ruchi. If you have the ruchi, you will figure out, sort out all the things, all the 100 excuses which may be good and valid for others, but for you, you want to go, you will reach there. So that is called ruchi. Ruchi is very powerful. But we may have ruchi in multiple things. For example, somebody living in Vrindavan, one does Vrindavan parikrama every day, correct? 10 kilometers. And after parikrama, somebody says, oh, let's go to parikrama again. They say, no, I have done today's quota. I will do it tomorrow. He has ruchi, but ruchi is not enough because it covers only 2 hours. But when your faith becomes incessant, when you attachment to something, So from ruchi, the asakti means when you become attached to something, you can associate with that person all the time, 24/7. Like somebody has a tremendous attachment for studying Srimad Bhagavatam. He has studied 2 hours. Okay, 2 hours, another session. 2 hours, another session. Like, some activity. So that attachment is on the subconscious level. When you become attached to someone, when your faith reaches the level of attachment connected to the subconscious level, it is one-pointed. So the difference between ruchi and asakti is like the two English words. One thing is continual and continuous. What is the difference between continual and continuous? Like a regular, continual means every hour the bell rings, correct? Continually. But continuous means every moment. So our faith in the divine on the level of asakti makes it subconscious. Then effortlessly we remember it all the time. When you become attached to someone or something, do you have to be very conscious to remember that person or thing? But whatever we want to remember consciously, there is a possibility of forgetting it. What an irony. I'm consciously trying to focus on Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And oftentimes I have seen by my conditioning that in spite of trying to remember and keep the track, mind slips away somewhere. Where it goes away? Wherever you have found your attachment for this moment or for these days, or until something happens, some certificate comes or you are looking for something, correct? See, consciously trying to focus on the Maha Mantra. And in spite of that, whatever thing we have become attached, mind will inevitably, in spite of our consciously holding on to remembering and focusing on chanting, the mind will slip away to that. But when you become attached to someone, you cannot go anywhere else. So that kind of attachment, when applied to a pure devotee, our appreciation of the pure devotee, when it reaches at such a status, we cannot forget him and his divine status. Then we become very safe. In that position, we will adopt all the ideal things, all the teachings, all the instructions which are given to us, and we will be very easily remembering him. Remembering a pure devotee, we will be able to follow all the idealism to remain engaged in devotional service 24/7. There's so much unlimited things to say, but thank you for your kindness for allowing me to purify and remind myself that we have yet to attain perfection of this human potential, and this present life is a perfect or the best opportunity since eternity. That much if we value our present opportunity, we can go very we can do something really useful and really cause the perfection of our human potential. It is in the offing. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Brother Klas Maharaj. It was a real pleasure to have you and have your darshan. The beautiful points you made. One question is that we find sometimes that we feel very attached to a sadhu, and that because of that attachment, we are maintaining our Krishna consciousness. We're not going into Maya. We're trying to, but then at the same time, even though we're attached, we're still haunted by Maya sometimes, like, oh, desires come, but we don't act on them because we want to please our guru. But then at the same time, sometimes we're haunted by temptation and so forth. Can you speak on that?
Dedication is supposed to lead to devotion. What we call attachment. Attachment is a very powerful thing. Attachment is rarely achieved. Attachment is, write this sentence. Attachment, especially divine, because we are aspiring for divine attachment. Attachment is rarely achieved, rarely attained, because it will dissolve all the possibilities of becoming attached to anything else. The divine attachment, and attachment is always caused to the thing which we directly perceive. You cannot become attached to something indirect or paroksha. We have, as a sadhakas, practiced Bhagavad Dharma many times, but Bhagavan, how is it possible that since eternity we could not become attached to Krishna? Because Krishna is paroksha. Shri Guru Charane Rati Aise Uttama Gati Je Prasade Pure Sarva Asha. We recite this thing. Does it register anything? Bereft of. I am bereft of Rati, or attachment to my spiritual master. And that's why Uttama Gati, my being transferred as an associate of Krishna or divine couple, it has not happened. Why? Because I could not fulfill that requirement, which potentially I can fulfill that requirement. So attachment is rarely achieved. And your question regarding when we become dedicated, following taking initiation under the shelter of a spiritual master and we remain engaged. Dedicate, that is called dedication. Consciously we try to remain engaged. Consciously we try to remain, but if the dedication remains intact, it is supposed to cause devotion. Devotion means attachment. So there is a difference between dedication and devotion. Apparently one may be engaged for 20 years, 25 years, consciously engaged, but it's very subjective thing. Attachment is very subjective thing. So one who is absorbed, absorption is possible only on the stage of asakti, on the level of attachment. Asakti tad guna khyane. Then this Shravana Dasha, tad guna khyane, one is able to, one who is very ready to remain engaged in hearing and chanting all the time, which is very difficult, correct? After 2 hour hearing, oh, today I finished my chanting. Is that our standard? I finished my chanting. Did you finish that? So the very question is not very wholesome. Because our standard, or the what Srila Prabhupada has brought to raise us, our consciousness to the level of Kirtaniya Sadahari. The 16 rounds is just a hook. Hook, somehow we are distracted, lost so many. Okay, hook, like catching the fish. So the devotees, we are wandering here and there in the ocean of nowhere, and the devotees just hook us, correct? And just bring us in the devotional pond, and now you are hooked into 16 rounds, 4 regulatory principles, all these things. But ultimately, we have to come to the level of attachment, of becoming attachment to a pure devotee in order to become a pure devotee oneself. If I become a pure devotee, attached to a pure devotee, I become his. Otherwise, if you have not become attached to a pure devotee, you would want to become someone else's. Because without attachment, we don't feel good. Correct? In order to feel good, you have to feel attached to something or someone. Now, when you feel very good being attached to a pure devotee, there's no possibility of your becoming attached to anyone else. Then you are safe completely. But attachment is really yojikas tatra durlabham. It's very rare. And once one attains that attachment to a pure devotee, he himself becomes a pure devotee. So that is standard. That is the set like that. All right. Other things will help us in filling the gap of time, passing the time different. But when you become attached to a pure devotee, you will inevitably, you will remain safe because you will be absorbed in something divine. You need something to become attached to. So Krishna, Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela, Dhama, Parikar, Bhakti Rasama Sindhu describes the 7 aspects of God. God has expanded in 7 aspects. Krishna's name is Krishna, Krishna's Rupa is Krishna, Krishna's qualities are Krishna, Krishna's pastimes are Krishna, Krishna's abode is Krishna, Krishna's associates are Krishna, Krishna's paraphernalia is Krishna. Now, this information, we may be there, but unless without realization, we will still see the separation. Although we insist, Krishna, your name, you are not different from Krishna, Krishna's name. But how we will realize? These are all paroks. Of course, we do participate in chanting, but chanting whose name? Krishna's name, but Krishna is still yet to meet. Correct? But Krishna's associate, the spiritual master or a pure devotee, if he is perceived as an associate of Krishna, then our attachment to him would be non-different to attachment to Krishna in quality. That's why when we say spiritual master is like a sample of God, you can experience God with your capacity if you experience the beauty and the divinity or the divine nature or the purity of the spiritual master. All the imagination, how much I will worship Krishna, how much I will love Krishna, you can apply in the service of the spiritual master. Then, since you have experienced, you have liked the sample, then Sri Guru Charne Rati, Aise Uttama Gati. It's a automatic. It's like when you want to purchase some good thing, some textile or some stuff. So you are given the sample, correct? You need suppose 1,000 kg, 1,000 pounds. You want something, whether it is good or not. So you will get the sample. If you like the sample, if you fall in love with the sample, you have fallen in love with everything. So that is a transfer. Sri Guru Charne Rati Aise Uttama Gati. Je Prasade Pure Sarva Asha. So that our attachment, Yadrishi, Shraddha, Siddhir Bhavati Tadrishi. The kind of level of faith we develop in the spiritual master, that will determine the level of our perfection. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama.
Thank you for coming from nowhere, Maharaj.